everybody? Welcome to the MixedupMike Show, the only show that brings you interviews and live DJ sets in one place, and I just dropped all my stuff like I do always. How's everyone feeling today? Happy Wednesday! Today I got a very special guest, Speaker of the House.
Hello.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
You got your mic on?
I think so.
All right.
I think so. It's on.
Is it?
I don't know. I can hear myself.
All right.
All right.
You get it a little louder.
A little louder.
Little
A
louder.
little louder, closer. Okay.
Yeah. As long as you hear yourself nice and loud on the speakers like that, you know you're on point.
Sounds good.
So thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for
I
having me.
appreciate it. You know, you were recommended.
That
and
feels good.
You know the person. We know the person, Mr.
Thank
Skater
you.
Man.
Thank you.
Skater Man. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
I love Mike. So, tell us how you ended up, in the house scene.
Well, I came in via the rave scene, which had house, but it wasn't the house scene by far. I had no idea there was a whole other set of house going on in the clubs, whole other story. But I came into the rave scene in 1995, very end of the year. A friend of mine just recommended, hey, there's this thing going on a couple of blocks away. Gave us an address. We showed up. There was a line out the door, around the corner, around the next corner, around the next corner. For anybody really old, this was the Sports Palace in Britain, Connecticut, party called Equinox. My four friends and I sneaked in, sneaked, got in to the front of the line as if we belonged there, and we did not. And we're the last four let in a sold-out party. Now, 1995, there were no sold-out parties. Fire code wasn't.
It was. They would say like a certain amount.
There were two clickers.
But we would.
So here's what happened, people. There were two clickers at the door. The real one to keep track of the money.
And the fake
and the one for the fire marshal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was true.
Sometimes there was three.
I was at a
Don't click the wrong clicker.
Pickles. I seen people die
Wow.
there.
Silver Pickles? I was there.
Yeah.
Were you at No Green Socks? That was part of that series.
Yeah.
Silver. Yeah, it's so great. Okay.
Yeah,
This is what happens when old people sit down. So we got in, paid our money. There, when you walked in, it was the top. You're at the top of a set of stairs looking down over an indoor soccer field. And lighting was very different back then. It wasn't lighting.
Yeah,
it was lasers and low flashers, and they weren't up high. They were kind of like across. So there was a stage, and then there was this field, literally a field of bodies. And all I could see was light reflecting off of sweat through a whole field. And Frankie Bones was playing.
Nice.
So Frankie Bones was playing. And he was having a good set as far as...
depends on how much shit they're on.
So to me, it
how
sounded
DJs
good.
were judged
I had
back
never
then.
liked techno to that moment. But when I stood there, I assume he was actually playing house because I remember he played the bomb during that set. But I stood there and I looked out over that field of shininess, and I said, "Oh my, this is going to take up a good portion of my life," and it did. Like I was every weekend from there on out. Wouldn't call myself a raver for about 6 months, and I feel like I'd earned it. But
But you were like,
Yeah.
I'm digging this.
yeah,
I'm
it was
digging
it was
this.
my thing, and
Nice.
got lost in the girls' room for the first time that night. Lost my friends, they lost me. I came back 4 hours later with new people. Just the whole standard.
Getting
first
lost
party.
was like, it was part of the experience.
Especially in the girls' room.
And you always
back
ended
rub
up
circles
like,
next to a flooded toilet.
Meeting a group of cool people, and you'd be hanging out with them for hours, and then your friends would find you and be like, "Where the hell you been?"
And this was
Yo,
before
I've been
social
here,
media.
man.
So if you wanted
Like-
to see these people again, you had to rave in their community again.
Yeah,
Or
it
hope
was-
they came to yours.
and
Rave outside of your state, people.
We couldn't be like, "Hey, where you at?"
I
We only
heard
had
some
pages.
real smart people, though, bought the construction glow sticks in odd colors, and they would hold them up. They'd put them in a water bottle and hold them over their head
Yeah.
if they lost their group. And that was like a beacon. And apparently
It was their color.
it worked. Yeah,
Yeah.
like who is that smart guy?
I used
Oh.
to see that different like crews that would come in, they would have all the same color glow stick. So
Yeah.
Obviously, it was part of. Must have been so they
Yeah.
knew when, because a lot of places too were like really dark, like you couldn't see. Yeah, and
The
like
only things you could see were the things you
just-
shouldn't see.
yeah, that and the stage, and that was like it.
Stay on if I let go of the button.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to
Good,
hold
good.
it up.
Alright.
So, being kind of like drawn into that, what made you want to then say, you know what, I want to get behind the decks and experience that?
Same thing as the answer for most of your questions are going to be, which was Armand Van Helden. And here's what happened. So I left.
I found out you really like.
I'm a fan. So I left the scene on what I like to call a little rave vacation for a couple of years, got married, went back to a rave after about 3, 4, 5 years on a lark. I was like, oh, it is the Wonderland I remembered.
Nice.
And I was just like, oh my goodness. And all I wanted was one of my friends, because most of my friends at this point were DJs and had been since the early days.
Yeah.
I wanted someone to make a mix for me, for my car, that had 3 particular songs on it. I wanted The Bomb, I wanted Sugar is Sweeter, and I wanted, I forgot what the last song was. But anyway, turns out they were all 3 either Armand Van Helden tracks or had been remixed by him under aliases.
Yeah.
And so all I wanted were 3 of his tracks mixed together. It was very simple. Nobody would do it, but somebody gave me a controller and told me to do it my goddamn self. Thank you, Dan. So
Hey.
I did. And I had been a trance kid before I left. And when I came back, I discovered, way too late, Old House.
Yeah. The classic house. Yeah.
So, I mean, I grew up with it. I became an adult listening to it, and I was a fan. But when I started playing it myself, I was like, everybody needs to be reminded about this. This is amazing. We forgot something wonderful. And that's why I started to play out way too early, mind you. I did not belong in public. On my little Fisher-Price controller. Thank you, Dan. And
It's all right.
it was the cutest little thing.
You can
it was
rock
like
it
8
on it.
ounces. 8 ounces. It was just adorable with my Hello
Was it
Kitty headphones.
400 or a 200?
Oh, it was a Newmark. And it was a 2-channel. At least it had all the EQs and the crossfader and the volume. And I think that it had pitch and some thing they thought were jog wheels.
Yeah.
With the 45 adapter symbol on it, on the jog wheel, which still makes me mad.
Wow.
Newmark needs to cut that out.
That's funny.
So and from that point I was like, after surgery, in my bed practicing every day, at least an hour, set a timer even if I didn't feel like it. I've never dedicated anything like I dedicated first learning to spin, and then when I switched to vinyl, same thing. I just made myself do it, because learning to spin is effing miserable.
Oh yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Some people think it's easy. It's an instrument just like any other guitar or drums or whatever.
Some people think calculus is easy. They're wrong.
You know. Can you count to 4? I think so.
But can you count to
Can you
32 without counting? So
Yeah. You know.
yeah, there's parts that come naturally, but as far as like getting things to sound right, there's so much like basic music theory that if you didn't learn it, you're gonna have to learn it. Like you're gonna have to invent it yourself by accident if nobody tells you about it. So there's a lot of discovering, and it was miserable. But I was loving the music because
It was good you had a small controller so you're able to practice in bed.
that's true. And I had fun because for the first 2 years, I used the sync key. So here's the thing. If you learn with the sync key on, and I tell younger people to do this, if you spend half your practice time with the sync key on, you learn about phrasing, keys, uh-ohs to watch out for in tracks. You're going to learn about song structure, and you're going to enjoy yourself and stick with it, and then spend half your time learning to beat match, because sync doesn't work, because everybody needs to learn how to beat match. But if you learn half the time with the sync key on, you're going to have more fun, and you're likely to stick with it. And you'll learn everything but that one task. And then when you put it together with that other one task, you're a great DJ. All the pieces
So
are there.
you're saying beat matching last.
No, I'm saying beat matching is absolutely necessary to learn.
Yeah.
However, feel free to enjoy the music too. Because learning to beat match, if learning to DJ in general is not great, learning to beat match is heartbreaking until that moment when it's fantastic. But it's heartbreaking for a few months.
I mean, tech makes it pretty easy nowadays. You just have a screen that tells you your BPM and you hit play, and then
We had a whole argument about this already. So, but it's only to 1 decimal point, and you need it to 2 decimal points that you can't see on your screen if you want it to be truly beat matched and have it stick
hey,
for a good 10, 15 seconds and not have to babysit it.
I don't know. When we were just tagging, mine seemed to stay on.
No, I was babysitting.
I didn't move my jog wheel.
I did.
You didn't touch it. Get out of here. You're going to tell me I was off.
No, I was touching the job. Anyway, so I'm a big...
That's what I'm saying. When we were tagging, I
Yeah.
was up here. I shut your sink crap off,
Did you do that?
and
while
I
was up
played.
there? Right.
And did you see me going and whatever?
But when I was
and-
playing, I had to.
Yeah, it seemed like you were struggling more with it on. When
You know why?
When you first started, I said, shut that crap off. And
First
you
of all, we
did.
got to be clear. We're talking about tempo sync, not beat sync. It's a whole different thing.
It takes so long to move your thing on the
It
side.
takes the amount of time to move this that you could be moving something fun. Work art.
This is
Work
supposed to-
art. Babysitting a circle of a banging noise, creativity and fun.
Quarter second. Tell me about your
Standard
DJ name.
automobile. Okay. So my DJ name was previously Jocelyn Silver, which is not actually my real name. Silver was my Candy Raver name back when I was, Candy Raver. And everybody had one. I gave it to myself. But and when I started to DJ, I just threw Silver on it as my last name.
Yeah.
Because then people would know who I was, and I had a lot of old friends.
Yeah, they
still
recognize
sticking
you,
around to see,
yeah.
right? And that's what half of them called me anyway. They used my name and my candy name. And then recently, I was just like, I hate this name. I hate this name. Actually, for a long time, I was going to go through D4 Nomina, as in the funk phenomena with D4 Dam. I just went through audio hype and like a bunch of names. And Speaker of the House occurred to me as just like a funny house pun, and speakers and Speaker of the House because I won't shut up about it.
Yeah.
Which is the main one. And I mentioned it to my friend Andy, who's in the room with us, and he got so excited. I was like, I must be onto something here. And I guess I was, because I went from like one booking a season to 1 or 2 a month, literally the week after I changed my name and announced it. So I think there's something about some like humorous gravitas or something, or else it's a great coincidence, but whatever. I feel like it helped.
Maybe making that move, say every action you do, there's a reaction.
Yeah.
So,
and like I took it as a moment to rebrand and like reintroduce
Yeah.
myself, because like I said before, I had come out too early when I first started spinning, and after my second DJ retirement, I came out again a little too early because I love the music so much.
Yeah.
I just want people to hear it, and I get excited.
Yeah.
So I think rebranding was a good idea.
So
'cause-
that's where when you wrote on Facebook about your
retirement.
retirements, break down a retirement for people.
Well, there's a retirement and a DJ retirement, and they're very similar in that you decide you need to change your whatever. You stop doing the thing that you had loved.
You take a long time off.
You take a long time off. A retirement has got to be at least a year to go, and I think a DJ retirement has got to be even longer than that.
Yeah.
I always say you're not a real DJ until you've retired twice and sold all your gear at least once. Because
Or lost it to something.
or some had to rebuild your entire music collection
Yeah.
at least once. So ask around anybody who's been DJing for 10 years or more. They've retired twice. So yeah, I joke that I didn't do anything interesting during those years that I was out. I actually got married. I got into steampunk. I was doing like Nerf mods. So I was doing some like weird and interesting stuff, but not
you're
as
a
interesting.
hobbyist.
Not as interesting as like what we're doing or
Yeah.
creating a culture.
DJing and the whole culture in general, from where it started, how it grown, to where we are today.
And it's been such a pleasure to
But
watch it happening.
It really has. It's been a ride. It really has been a ride. But you're definitely a hobbyist, crafting, writing, dancing.
Badly. Dancing badly. But I have fun.
Etc.
Yeah.
A lot of things. So you keep busy all the time.
No.
No?
I have the ADHD bad, which means it's hard to start a thing. Once I get going, I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
But I spend a lot of time ass the couch thinking about stuff I'd like to be doing. But I do a lot. I do a lot of like projects that involve being on a device to organize this, that, and the other thing, promote, or try and put something together. Or I'm always trying to put something together.
You're with Boston on Boston Rave Family Chat too, right? Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
What's the one I'm in that you're in? I don't know. I can't think of the name.
I'm not so
brain
keen
damage
in chats, but I participate a lot in a 40s and older raver group. I don't think you're 40s and older.
No, it's Boston something.
There's Boston Raves, and there's I don't know.
It's like their general chat, I think.
Yeah.
We talked once in there.
Did I mention the ADHD? my gray matter is kind of beige.
Hey, I got the grays too. That's why I keep my hair really short. You can't see it as much. Like when it grows out, it's getting there. My daughters have definitely done that to me over the years. But what inspires you? What keeps you motivated? What keeps that inspiration going?
As a DJ,
and in life in general.
Oh, I'll be a politician and answer the question I wish you asked, which is in our scene and culture, and it's perpetuation. And I think about this a lot. Like, what is it about something that is artistic that's not helping survival? What is it? Thank you. What is it that makes me care about it so much? And I don't know, but I feel this need to perpetuate and grow something that I love.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't know why. There's got to be an interesting reason, but I think too much about stuff like that. But I want to see, first of all, the old house sounds. I never got over the classic house. My mission as a DJ is to repopularize that sound so someone else will play it so I can go out and dance to it. The best thing in the world is giving someone else your record box. Thumb drive. So the best thing in the world is hearing someone else play music, because then you get to dance to what you think is the best music you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
So I want to repopularize that music, and I'm on a mission to reestablish interstate raving, or encourage it. Interstate raving with cooperation between promoters, so there's not stepping on different events between even Massachusetts to Rhode Island to New York City.
Where this event is, there's nothing else going on.
Way back when, there were maybe about 500 of us every weekend, no matter where, 500 to 1,000. So if we wanted to go out,
stadium,
and we did want to go out,
we went
to where out was.
Yeah.
And out I'm in Nashua, New Hampshire. I'm from Connecticut. I've been here before because there used to be parties here. And so promoters could count on that.
They don't want nothing to
500.
do with it anymore.
Well, no, most cities don't.
You guys fucked it up.
We done messed that up.
I did. I went downtown and went into all the establishments.
Yeah.
That, you would be able to do something, even the little tiny things. And they were like,
yeah.
no.
Well, 2020, 2020 and all that. 21 Jump Street also did us a number. But if promoters could count on a good lineup, bringing at least that 500 people who would travel in blizzards and hurricanes, and we traveled in blizzards and hurricanes.
Oh, yeah.
The budgets would go higher, the acts would get bigger, there'd be even more people doing the regular traveling.
And you bring DJs from
and you can get
every
DJs
state.
from further around. You start to
and
learn.
Then you have your headliners.
And you start to learn who the promoters in other areas are, and you follow promoters as much as you follow DJs. You know what their arc is going to be like as much as you know what a DJ's arc might or might not be like on a given night. So you fan them too. They're throwing a show. I've never heard of promoter such and such is in New Jersey's lineup at all, but I'm going. And that's, so I'm on a mission to like get interstate raving and cooperative.
Hey, I'm down
planning
with that. No, I am totally down with that because that.
I'll tell you,
there was nothing better. Like you said, you would go to these parties, 500,000 people. Like it was.
The travelers. There would be 2,000 at the party because there was the locals too.
Yeah, it was just insane, and the places started getting bigger. Then. We would travel all the way to Lewiston, and at the Civic Center, they were filling that. Insane, and there was people from everywhere. Everywhere.
It was wonderful. It was just if you're under
outside
30,
of New England as well.
If you're under 30, find yourself a raver over 40, and sit down like you're with Grandpa Simpson, and ask for a story. You're gonna get a story.
Yeah.
You ask for 3 stories, you're gonna get 15. They're all gonna be fantastic, and probably there's gonna be a whole lot of stuff that your mom wouldn't want to hear about.
Yeah. Now it's
wonderful, but it's different.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different. Today, you have Portland, you have Boston, you have Providence, New Hampshire. Where's New Hampshire? I mean, they do have a Jewel is a fantastic place. They got a Hennessy sound system that can blow out anything, but people just don't want to travel there. Yeah. Vermont even has a scene.
I'm trying to get the bus trips going again.
You know what I mean?
You remember bus trips?
Yeah,
and now we could have a DJ because it's not vinyl. No, I mean like rent a coach bus and it's $50 for your ticket on the bus plus the ticket to the party. You party the whole way down. You sleep the whole way back. You have a place to leave your stuff.
We used to rent one of those conversion vans. We would throw in a bunch of us because, we would all be friends coming from one area. So we would get one of those and then pack 10, 12 of us in there. Rig and head down.
And promoters would do it too, though. They would take the financial risk of renting a coach bus, but it was fantastic. Everybody could sleep the whole way back.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about
you
driving.
Put the movie Groove on.
Yep.
And
the movie Groove.
Or Go or Human Traffic. Those were the 3. And go home and go to sleep, driving into the sunrise.
Yeah.
And why was it always into the sunrise?
Well, the parties didn't really get over till the sun was coming up.
But directionally, I could be going west and somehow drive into the sunrise. I don't understand.
It always happens. It says west, but you're kind of still kind of going this way, and then once it gets
don't ruin my imaginary physics issue.
Certain point, it's just blinding.
Yeah.
It's like no. Can't do it. That's me now after going to a party.
Yeah, I parties end now at 2, which is like when they should be kicking off to me.
Yeah.
But as a 49-year-old, I'm like, where am I going to sleep? Net party's over. Where do I go to sleep? I can't drive home. It's a whole 2 hours away because I'm an interstate raver.
Yeah, and especially living here in Nashville, going up to Portland's 2 hours. Going to Providence, it's hour and a half, so it's a little shorter.
Yeah.
Boston is the closest, but you got all the fucking traffic and...
Yeah, it's still a long drive even if the miles are short.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but, it'd be nice if... and New Hampshire, there are people trying to grow in New Hampshire at Jewel, too. My buddy Johnny's trying to really grow something there. He's got starting to do an open decks type deal. Yeah. It's coming up in December. I can't remember the exact date.
Mixed feelings about open decks.
So it's gonna be good. You already got he's got a pretty good lineup, and then Willis is co-headlining with Crawl. If I said his name right, I might have butchered it. Yeah. I might have. I butcher a lot of people's names, and I apologize for that. Well, I don't really say Oz too much.
Right.
So, and my 11-year-old, every time I talk, she's like, Like, yeah,
Or-
another gray hair.
Nothing wrong with gray hair, my friend.
So, the technology today, I mean, as DJs, from what it used to be, where it was just basically 2 turntables, your mixer, there wasn't really much of effects except for, like 10, maybe
He had a
12
couple.
effects.
Yeah, and they were harder to use.
There wasn't any, like, other things. But
But
today,
here's
it's
the thing. It
there's
forced
so
more
much.
creativity. Forced more creativity. You can do more now. This is a paint palette
Yeah.
with every color you can possibly
yeah.
want. If I gave you a palette with black, white, and yellow and told you to recreate the Sistine Chapel, you'd become a more creative person. You'd fail, but you'd become a more creative artist, right?
Yes.
So to me, 2 techs and a bad mixer is, I have a DJ M500, like I know what I'm talking about. 2 techs and a mixer without the blue button is going to make you more creative and a better DJ when you move back over to this stuff.
Yeah.
I really do think it's important for young DJs to, if they get the opportunity to get their hands on records, to learn it, because it just opens a different part of your brain mixing that way.
Oh, yeah.
But this is beauty.
It is. You get to do
you,
so much.
You're not the conductor, you're the orchestra.
What would you like to see? If it's CDG, J's or on controllers, what would you like to see?
I really like these all-in-ones because, first of all, I'd like to see the price point come down.
Yeah, that'd be
Music
nice.
is for everybody, not just rich kids. I'd like to see them and this equipment be affordable in schools because it's great for teaching music, and music teaches math. I can't afford one of these. Thank you to my friend
Keep
Ryan
kids
for letting
out
me.
of trouble, too.
Or, did it keep you out of trouble, though?
Well, the time you spend in
that-
DJing
yeah.
is going to eat up hours.
It's important. Music is important, and this is a great way to teach music in a way that younger people, I think, might be feel more attached to than they might a trombone or a flute or something. Maybe some people,
like the funky house.
And I'd like and their parents might actually enjoy recital night. Instead of a whole lot of cross
Kids
funds.
pop.
So I'd like to see the price come down, and I'd like for more of us to not be struggling to get the equipment we want. We want to make, we want to create, we spend a lot of money just to give.
They really, the prices on the equipment.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'd like them to get lighter physically
yeah,
without
these
losing
things are
sturdiness.
64, 65 pounds. It's funny because yesterday,
And then the
I
cases.
was watching something, and it was talking about these, and it was saying about the weight of them and how heavy they are. But no, it would be nice if they could still make it really sturdy and kind of cut that weight. But there's so much stuff that they have to put in this thing.
And I'm dying to see if you're familiar with the older mixers versus the newer mixers. The older mixers had a spring switch for the line phono. It was just a little spring switch, as opposed to this little knob that you turn now. What
at the top, right?
Yeah, right above the gain.
So to change
above the
from
gain.
line to phono.
Right. So if you're going from a CDJ or whatever else might have been
you
line,
cut in, cut out,
and then phono. That's what it was intended for. But if you were playing records with it set to phono and you just flipped it over to line, you got silence, which is the same thing as cutting a volume channel, but far more precise. Now, you can't hear it in your headphones like you can when you're cutting on your volume channel, but it's the crispest cut you'll ever get. So if you know your track really well,
oh yeah,
it's beautiful. And I would love to have a full cut spring switch on all the gear, because I love to, I play vocal house, but I cut like I'm playing breaks. So.
Hey, pros and cons about being a DJ.
Expenses.
Yeah.
Time. Imposter syndrome, which is what I named my last mix. Why am I talking only the cons?
I know you're hitting the bad, like boom, boom, boom. Let's get the bad out of the way. I guess
I am a I'm a little bit of a pessimist, I guess. I was saying tortured artist. I have every time I think, oh my God, I got it. I am good. Listen to what I just did. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then like 6 weeks later, I listen to it again. I'm like, ah, man, this is fire trash. It's like fire, but it's like dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And so like I break my own heart a lot. But I also get to congratulate myself a lot. I learned the thing you saw me doing before with the echo and the cutting and on the one beat. I just figured that out a couple days ago as a way to extend a word that ends in a vowel.
Yep.
And in a vocal.
Doing it on a beat too, creating effects.
Yeah, it's got to be on beat, and you got to cut the bass out of that, and you got to cut the highs out of that if you want to just have it be the so like there's this learning and this discovery and this like. And my dream, I'm a button masher first of all, just to see what's going to happen, and my dream is to be the first one to figure something out, to come up with some sort of mixer combination.
Something new that no one's done.
I was telling my friend Andy back when I was playing vinyl, and you know how expensive needles are.
Oh,
I was using a pair of $350 needles, guys. And I got a pair of metal spoons, and I drummed. While the record was playing, I drummed on the back of the cartridge to see if the reverberation would make it through the needle down the tone arm and out my speaker. It did not.
Yeah.
But how cool would it have been if I invented like tonar drumming, right? Somebody later showed me all you have to do is like knock next to the record and it's gonna make a beautiful noise happen for us. I was so mad.
Hello.
Right
Hello.
here. Have you ever done that? It's a great noise it gives you. It's a great deep.
No, I always knocked.
Well, I mean, I'm a record player.
No, yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started in '96.
Oh, so
DJing.
You're a little. I started raving in '95. You may be senior to me. I was telling you earlier. Because I keep taking these breaks. I've only really got 6 years under my belt.
Yeah. So. Oh, I've had many breaks.
It gets frustrating.
Yeah, I've been back at it like 3.5 years, something like that. It's like solid.
There's a lot of things in DJing that feel like rejection.
It's not the same anymore because you're not spending your whole time as a DJ DJing. It's
but I'm good. I like that other
social
stuff too.
media and.
But now
like
we can buy our records in our underwear at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
so like there's upside down
it's
positives
nice
and negatives.
that you can just open your computer and go into record pools or Beatport or whatever, or your homie sending you some stuff, and all of a sudden you got 50, 100 tracks. Instead of taking a shower, getting dressed, taking the bus or driving into the city because it's not like. Record stores were everywhere.
See, now I wasn't a DJ then, so getting taken along for that drive.
Oh yeah,
that was the best. It felt so special.
It was awesome though to be able to drive. Growing up in Salisbury Beach, I would leave the beach, drive to Newburyport, get on the train, go to Boston, then take the subway to Mass Ave, go to Satellite Records, and do my record shopping. Leave there, get back on the subway. Back to
records.
Huh?
With records
with
now.
records. With brand new records.
Records are heavy.
Get back on the train, get that ride back, and then get in the car, get home, and start DJing.
See, now when I started playing vinyl, it was because it
was like an adventure.
My senior DJ friends, I'm 49, so my friends are about the same age I was, but they had been spinning back when you were spinning. And I started, 20 years after them, and they made fun of me for that sync key I told you about.
Took me a long time to beat match, though.
So they said, you should learn how to play vinyl, blah, blah, blah. So you know what? I gave them all the finger. I said, fine, I play vinyl now. And I don't know exactly the turn of events, but the controller was gone, and I had turntables in a few weeks, and was starting to buy records. Now, I could beat match in about 3 months. Because I could already phrase and I knew my keys and you see where I'm going, because I had learned on sync. But the buying records when I was doing this was about maybe like 5 years ago, was Discogs, which is so fun. So fun. And I made that site my bee. I learned how to if anybody ever wants to shop Discogs and not spend their whole life fortune and get a lot of records, feel free to contact me. I love destroying that site. So.
Yeah, it is.
But don't think you're ever
there are
going
a
to eat
couple sites
again.
out there that you can listen to it and get the records
But
delivered.
For the 2 whole years that I was 3 years I was playing vinyl, I bought no groceries. I ate my parents' leftovers for 2-3 years. I had no bed because there was no room in my bedroom. So it does kind of, take a little commitment. I trashed my credit rating because,
Oh, yeah.
you get that $500 credit card and Discogs is open. Of course you're going to spend the whole $500 today. And, when...
I got new records.
But it's old songs that you already know you love.
Yeah. So what kind of advice could you give an up-and-coming DJ?
Be patient. Know how you learn and learn that way. Do whatever it takes to stick with it, to make sure you have fun. It should be ideally as fun for you as for anybody who's ever going to get to hear you, or at least as satisfying, if not necessarily fun. So, and I'm not being a smartass about it this time. If you need the sync key to enjoy yourself and you're a bedroom DJ, you know what? Don't let anyone tell you anything. And if you want to not mix and key, don't mix and key. Just don't subject anybody else to it. But have fun, learn about music.
And play what you love.
Play what you love. Play what you don't love, too.
Yeah.
Play other people's music, too. I really enjoyed your music, and I was like, oh, my God, I do like breakbeats. I've forgotten. So, and mess around with music you don't know, mess around with music you don't understand, and...
Sometimes doing that, too, gives you better understanding when you play... Because, some people have, I have my favorite genre is breaks. Yeah. But I can spin any kind of house, drum and bass, psytrance, techno, whatever. I always try to, at least every now and then, play different things. This way I know I can do it if I had to.
And then the most important piece of advice, and this probably applies to any art or craft, is any advice anybody gives you is not bad advice. Learn it, perfect it, put it in your tool belt.
Yep.
You may never use it, but you probably will use something of it at some point. You might adjust it. Also, a fun game is take everything everyone tells you not to do and learn how to do it and make it sound good.
You can make a lot of things sound good now.
Yeah.
And
you can mix vocals,
too.
guys.
Especially, the technology now. So experiment. That's the other thing.
And
don't be... fuck that thing.
For me right now, I'm getting into sort of the more technical side of what sound is and which I recently got obsessed with is the filter affecting the filter filtering the effects or the effects affecting the filter. And it took me kind of part of an afternoon to play around and figure that out. But I wanted to know which direction the noises were going through my mixer. And I want to learn how to tune a room, and I want to learn how to and people make fun of me. They're like, you're thinking about it too much. You know what? I enjoy it. So if you enjoy that technical stuff, nerd out about it. Just enjoy it. The more you enjoy it, the longer you'll stick with it. The longer you stick with it, the better you'll get at it. The more joy you'll bring to other people and yourself.
Exactly. Last question.
Mm-hmm.
Craziest party you've ever been to?
See, we talked about this before we started, and
you can't name names because that's incriminating. So, tell us the craziest party. Without incriminating.
I want to. Oh, you know what? It was one that I co-hosted at a club in.
Oh, she co-hosted
Springfield, Massachusetts, at a club that rhymed with Asylum, and it was either whipped or on your knees.
I remember.
The person running the club was kind enough to let me have creative fun while they did all the hard work, and we hired Ron Jeremy to come speak in the middle of it. And I was like, I didn't understand why. He did a comic routine, but it was Ron Jeremy, and he was there, and it was interesting.
Did he whip his dick out?
He hit on
I
a
mean,
good
the
friend of
thing's
mine. I don't know if his
massive,
dick
so-
came out, but he was a dick.
Oh, yeah.
Accidentally, not knowing the very strict laws about such things in Massachusetts, may have broken a couple of laws at the same time. I swear to God, people, it was an accident. I had no idea.
You would have to register.
Brain law.
as a sex
So
offender.
I would have. So, but it wasn't. It's totally. It's got
We were-
innocent.
We were all
but-
adults.
So the cops were heading over towards me. Well, that's what we assumed because we were carting at the door. So you know,
You get
right,
mine
right.
is in the
right. So the cops were heading over
That's when
to
you
put
hide
an
'em.
end to something that was happening.
not in a bad way.
And one of my friends just walks over and
Not
points to
sound good.
me and my friend hanging out, and he says to the officers, "Oh, they always hang out. And would you like to meet Ron Jeremy?" And the officers got all excited and toddled off to have their private meet and greet with Ron Jeremy. And I was not arrested, and I'm not a sex offender today. And that was just like, 5 minutes of that party.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
it was
Yeah, Ron Jeremy's
in a hospital now.
Yeah,
He lost his mind with syphilis.
he's really ill. I thought he passed.
I don't keep track like that. We didn't keep in touch.
Yeah, I just thought I saw him on the news. That he went.
I
think he did.
honestly think a lot of people would tell me specifically because of that party if Ron Jeremy passed. Because I get a lot of Ron Jeremy memes from people to this day. So.
I got it.
Don't laugh like that into a microphone.
I got it. Swing it. You ready to drop some beats?
I don't know. I'm nervous, man. I didn't
What are
sleep
you
last
nervous
night.
for?
Because I want to do good. Well,
Well,
all right.
Here we
So
go.
I didn't
you
get a lot
ready
of
to hear Speaker of the
sleep.
House? Everybody ready to hear Speaker of the House? What's up, Jenny Jen, Sweet Vampy, Big Red? How's everyone feeling? The only show that gives you both interviews and live DJ sets in one place. Let's fucking get it.
It's my life, so don't you tell me how to live my life, how to live my life. It's my life, there's nothing you can do about it. I do what I want. Oh, it's my life, so don't you tell me how to live my life, how to live my life. It's my life, there's nothing you can do about it. I do what I want. Oh, I can see these haters all around me, and I don't know why. Jealousy can make a man go crazy. I see the green in their eyes. Yeah, the monster bites so hard, but it makes me feel so good. I've been winning from the start. I'm right here where I wanna be. There ain't nobody stopping me. 'Cause it's my life, so don't you tell me how to live my life, how to live my life. It's my life, there's nothing you can do about it. I do what I want, yeah. It's my life, so don't you tell me how to live my life, how to live my life. It's my life, there's nothing you can do about it. I do what I want. You can't tell me where I should go. I won't be under your control. You can't tell me where I shouldn't be. I'm doing fine, I'm doing me. You can't tell me where I should go. I won't be under your control. You can't tell me where I shouldn't be. I'm doing fine, I'm doing me. It's my life, so don't you tell me how to live my life, how to live my life. It's my life, there's nothing you can do about it. I do what I want. wanna raise my hand. Sometimes I wanna do my dance. Sometimes I need to
Give it
free my
up,
mind.
the speaker
Sometimes I
of
get
the
real
house.
high. Sometimes I wanna lose control. Sometimes the beat touch my soul. Sometimes I need to free my mind. Sometimes I get real high. Sometimes I wanna raise my hand. Sometimes I wanna do my dance. Sometimes I need to free my mind. Sometimes I get real high. Sometimes I wanna lose control. Sometimes the beat touch my soul. Sometimes I wanna raise my hand. Sometimes I wanna do my dance. Sometimes I wanna lose control. Sometimes the beat touch my soul. Sometimes I get free my mind. Sometimes I get real high. Sometimes I wanna raise my hand. Sometimes I wanna do my dance. Sometimes I need to free my mind. Sometimes I get real high. Sometimes I wanna lose control. Sometimes the beat touch my soul. Sometimes I wanna raise my hand. Sometimes I wanna do my dance. Sometimes I wanna lose control. Sometimes the beat touch my soul. Sometimes. This revolution is not a rerun, brothers.
Solar
This
Flux.
revolution is live.
Give it up, everybody, for Speaker in the house! Thank you for the raid, Oracle. I appreciate it. Much love, man. Much love.
This revolution is not a rerun, brothers. This revolution is live. This revolution is not a rerun, brothers. This revolution is live.
What you have here is the girl with the juice. So check out my style, cause I'm gonna get loose. What you have here is the girl with the juice. So what you have here is the girl with the juice. So what you have here is the girl with the juice. Check out my style, cause I'm gonna get loose. What you have here is the girl with the juice. So what you have here is the girl with the juice. So what you have here is the girl with the juice. So check out my style, cause I'm gonna get loose. What you have here is the girl with the juice. So check out my style, cause I'm gonna get loose. Other MCs better hold your breath because the style and the rhythm are definitely, definitely, definitely.
sounds better with you. Love night, bring us back together.
run, Jeremy.
sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wonder it's time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away, ain't no sunshine. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wonder it's time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away.
with you for a minute. Cause I just got something that I need to say.
Give you a hold up at the road. Let it roll, get swole. Give you a hold up at the road. Let it roll, get swole, get swole. You can't hide from yourself. Everywhere you go, there you are. You can't hide from yourself.
Yo, Speaker of the House just fucking killed it on the MixedupMike Show.
Everywhere you go,
Give it up for Speaker of the House, everybody!
you can't hide from yourself. Everywhere you go, there you are. 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 You can't hide, no, you can't hide. Everywhere you go, yeah, you can't hide. Look in the mirror, you can't hide.
How's
Walking
everyone
down the street,
feeling
yeah,
out
You
there?
can't hide. Looking in the store,
Everyone
window,
feeling
there
funky
you
or what?
are. You can't hide, no,
Speaker of the
you can't
House
hide.
just
You
brought
can't
back.
You can't hide.
I'm feeling
You
fine.
can't hide.
She just brought back some classics,
You can't hide.
dropping that funk.
You can't hide.
Woo! Shit! I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you so much.
For having me. Thanks for
I
having me.
really do appreciate you coming out.
So excited.
I'm turning this one up for you. There you go.
But it's such a good song.
No, honestly, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it very much.
Give it up for Speaker of the House, everybody.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, everybody, tuning in. MixedupMike Show, the only show that brings you interviews with live DJ sets. No other show out there is doing that. Huh?
And a plug a show.
Go ahead. What do you got
September
coming up?
22nd, coming up at Alchemy in Providence, Rhode Island. I am honored to be opening a set with following me. The supporting artists are DJ Dupe and Nick DeParis, followed by the one and only Chuck Love. We're talking live
shit.
flutes, live
Oh,
horns,
shit.
live keyboards, vocals on top of some soulful house. September 22nd. Doors open at 9. I'm on at 9.
Nice.
Thank you.
So you're starting the night off. You're gonna
Yeah,
get
gotta bring
kick
in
it
the
off
groove.
right? Kick it off right. Kick
the
it
heads
off
nodding.
right. Nice. That's awesome.
Oh.
She just absolutely killed it.
Thank you.
Sweet Vampy, Maddie Pace, DJ Cherokee Rose, Jenny Jen, Big Red, Hollister Man, One Prophetic DJ. Oh, Speaking of one prophetic DJ, the Oracle, next week on the MixedupMike Show is another first. That's right. Through Zoom, I am going to be broadcasting live on the Twitch channel next week. And I'm going to be interviewing the Oracle. And then he'll be dropping a live set. And he's in Florida. The show is now expanding out. So we've gone from basically buffering every 5 seconds. In the beginning, we've reached out. We've gone from DJs that have never played out, international DJs with Tenacious Brothers. We had them come over. Soul Speed brought them over last year. I was very fortunate to interview them. And now I'm very grateful. One prophetic DJ right in the chat right there, dude. I can't wait. I'm going to be contacting you soon. This way I can break everything down. And we're on the same page and stuff. And everything will run smooth. We tested it out yesterday, me and Toasty. Hey, Odin. Get down. You want to say hi?
That's the best MC ever.
There's Odin. That's that GoFundMe link up at the top. That's pinned there. The reason that's there is because of Odin. Odin is unfortunately having a lot of problems. He's built up. They're a different kind of kidney stone. They're these crystals that actually build very fast. And Friday, go for the ultrasound. Find out how much are built up. Once it gets to a certain point, he needs to have them removed. If not, it overtakes the organ. I know times are tough for everybody, so even if you donated $1 or just sharing it, and that just gets more eyes on it because, anyone that has a pet, yesterday you unfortunately
I wanted
had
to dedicate that set to my cat Coco, who took her last trip to the vet yesterday.
So it's definitely sad, having pets. They become like children. I have 3 girls, and that's my boy. So, I do anything for them, and I'm not one that reaches out and says, "Hey, I need help," but this is something that's gonna be
He's a good
big
boy.
thing.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, he's a very good boy. They call him Cat Pig Dog, my girls. He's a dog.
Like Man Pig Bear?
When he eats,
Is
he
that
sounds
like Man Pig Bear?
when he eats, he sounds like a pig, and he purrs. He'll sit there and purr. And a lot of people that have come to my house now, when he sits next to you and wants attention, he purrs like a cat. So he's doing it now, right? You hear him? He's probably in there like purring and going, "Dad, you're an asshole." Don't tell him I'm peeing blood.
My 3-year-old sister's watching the show. You gotta watch the language.
Oh, I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm totally kidding. I have no sister.
I was gonna say, hey, earmuffs. This is an adult channel. Cherokee Rose, DJ Cherokee Rose in the house. I appreciate each and every single one of you beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in to the MixedupMike Show, the only show that brings you interviews with live DJ sets. And next week, I am so pumped to be interviewing the Oracle, based out of Florida. The show is expanding. Go along for the ride. And if you want to even support the show and represent with some merch, you can find t-shirts, hoodies, bucket hats, trucker hats, snapbacks, beanies, you name it, I have it. Check out my merch store. Link, I'll drop the link in there. But thank you so much again.
Thank you again.
I appreciate it.
I'm bad at microphone.
That's all right. My microphone doesn't, you got to be like those.
I need the
old style.
Madonna microphone.
Have it right here next to your mouth, right? But thank you to all you beautiful people tuned in. I appreciate it. And make sure Wet and Wild Wednesday is going to be kicking off. 7 p.m. DJ Apple Juice. Don't miss that. And until next time, we outie. Peace. Sweet Vampy, you're the best. Thank you again, everybody. I appreciate it. Zamfield, there you are, my brother. Much love to all you beautiful people. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Next week, we got the Oracle. And then to finish off the month, I have the one and only Beat Junkie coming on the show. I got a lot of female DJs been coming on the show recently.
We're just DJs.
Wow, I can't deny it. The females are killing it. 7 p.m. Wet n Wild Wednesday will officially be kicking off. DJ Apple Juice. Much love, much love, much love, much love, much love. Oh, that little square with the compass t-shirt. You can just click right on that thing, and it should take you. So ring my bell, everybody! Let's fucking go! See you next week. Well, I'll be in the chats. I'll be back streaming tomorrow. Much love, much love, much love, much love. Thank you so much, everybody.